Good afternoon, this is Chris Callan. I'm going to do a product development update. Today is Sunday, January 7th of 2018. I'm going to walk you through the entire flow so you can see the integration we've made this last month with Autodesk's Forge platform. We have integrated with multiple of their APIs and believe it allows us to show a lot more of what we're working on. So I just created a project. I'm going to pull up the project and it will let me know that I do not have any models, and I'll simply go upload a model and choose it from my file and folder structure, and at this point in time we will send the model to Forge and come back, but the entire experience for the user is within our own system. So as soon as the file is done uploading, you'll receive an email that will say your file is ready to use, and you follow the link and we have the model inside of our system at that point in time. So the section at the top you'll see is the Forge Viewer platform. It allows us a lot of intuitive controls. It's also very optimized for use in web and mobile, and also a plus side that BIM 360 and many of the other Autodesk platforms are using the exact same interface, so our users won't have to relearn things as they move throughout the grid system. And then the usual, being able to select a item and assign a trade code to it. We then go and assign trade codes to the subcontractors. So we go to the granularity of trade code to make sure that we capture everything. Also, we're working with Autodesk on a beta AR VR pipeline that as we upload the model, we see it in the viewer on our web application, but it also directly imports into a Unity scene. This is something we are looking at in a research and development capacity currently. Not sure if it's going to scale with us, but we are looking into seeing how far we can take it. The other alternative is to take our entire experience and keep it inside the web application. Once again, also researching that as well. This is the similar interface that everyone has seen, assigning resources, installation, duration, and the first degree predecessor. I like to talk about this every single video just to make sure that we talk about the information that is actually captured inside of virtual reality. All right, so here we see our first degree. We'll be able to see our first degree connections by selecting any node on the entire chart. Green is the predecessors or prerequisites that the user identifies, and pink are the successors that the system generates from other predecessors. So we have color coded the map and the field at the top to match, and you'll start to see on the right here we have a ranking of criticality. That one had a 93.5% criticality. That is a percentage of the longest duration path, which you'll see at the top there is ranked 100 degree criticality. Something else we've worked in the system is developing the entire path from the first node that connects to that object to the last node that connects to that object. In this example of this tower, there's a lot of objects that exist all the way through, but you can see as I move throughout, the color coding changes, the information is different on the slide out panel, but the path remains the same. So you can see here this is 100% criticality, and then clicking the node beneath it is also 100%, given that those two nodes share the same duration. So therefore we see basically a grouping of 4 different paths there that could all go different ways, but being able to have that insight into what objects influence those coming down the line has led us to another metric that we'd like to be able to show. So not only what is on the path downstream and upstream, but what is the absolute influence of every task that comes behind an object, and that's what we created, the influence filter. So we can select any node, any task in a schedule, and look at every path that will come out of it, not only the objects on its current path. So this is looking at if a subcontractor identifies an issue with a task, the general contractor will be immediately able to understand how many steps downstream are affected, what is the aggregate duration of those steps you'll see on the right-hand side there. And the difference between path and influence is shown here. That is the path identified for that given object. You can see some of the objects are not highlighted, and when you select influence, you will, on that same node, it shows every object that comes behind it. So that kind of impact is very, very valuable for our customers to understand what are the implications that come from it. Obviously, that is a toy, a mock-up, but it is very useful in describing what's happening in the flow of installation. But here you see our second pilot project with McCown Gordon Construction out of Kansas City. The Forge platform is very powerful. We are able to tie into their existing system our search and filter and sort features tie in very nicely, but at the top you'll see Forge's platform, at the bottom you'll see ours that is integrating with it. About a month ago, we made the decision to use the Forge viewer and some of the other APIs they provide to allow, once again, the user to have a familiar interface to work with, but also for us to be able to focus on the value proposition we are providing. Our value is not being able to show models and have all the functionality that Forge is providing us. Our value is in identifying novel workflows and creating a scheduling generator that is far and above what exists today. And so here you see the path at scale. You can see the same color coding system. We have 6 beams that are kitted together, and they are connected to another kit of beams as a prerequisite. But you can start to see how at scale the information really starts to make a lot more sense as far as being able to track through. And with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up this update. I would encourage you to spread around your organizations. We are looking for as much feedback as possible as we build out our product for a beta release in April. So please share. I would ask you keep inside your organization, though. Once again, my name is Chris Callan with Grit Virtual. Thank you for your time.